Hello, everybody. Hello, this is Ann Austin coming to you today. It is Tuesday, already November 5th. Um, I am on here because I wanted to add a second piece to what my boy Leroy McKenzie Jr. He was so kind to get on Facebook and actually put out some tips about speaking. And so as somebody who always do events, I kind of want to put out something too, because it is really important that we, make sure that we're doing things that is professional at all times. And if you could please share and like this video, I will appreciate it. I'm going to share 6 best practices to applying for speaking gigs today. And I hope everybody is doing okay and having a good week already. It is just about the end of the year, and so I just want to kind of put this out here for 2020. So those who could catch the replay, please do and share. There's a replay on this. So hey Connie, how are you? So one of the things I want to share, number one off the bat, okay, when you guys are applying for a speaking gig, right? When you're applying for a speaking gig, I know it could be very exciting. You're thinking about how the activity is going to go, what kind of people you're going to be speaking with, and all that great stuff, right? And matter of fact, before I even get in here, what I might want to do is I might even share this to one of my groups here, because then that way more people can join in. I would say that when you're going to these events, like I said, it's exciting. You want to do things. You want to see people. You want to tell them all about, what your event is, whatever your message is going to be as a speaker, right? So we know that, okay? However, okay, here is what I'm going to be sharing as far as because I have to be real with y'all. I'm scared to do this, but I'm going to do it because I think it needs to be said, right? Number one, or maybe I should say number 5. Well, number one, make sure that you are qualified to apply to the position. I know that sounds like that should be obvious, right? But when you're throwing an event, and I get lots of applications, okay, I often get people who apply who have nothing to do with the event. Their topic, I'm saying, they don't qualify at all. They're just trying to apply and all that kind of stuff. And it's okay to kind of put your hat in the ring and take your chances. But the rule of thumb for me is that if you are qualified for the speaking gig, it will look good on your reputation. Think about it. It's just like a resume. If you keep applying to the wrong jobs, you're throwing away your first impression, with that company. You just never know when the right position may come. And then they're going to remember you because you turned in a resume that wasn't qualified. And this is the same thing in this instance, okay? This is the same thing. If you are applying for a speaking gig, first and foremost, you need to make sure you're reading the instructions, that you are looking for anything that is going to disqualify you, because, and I say that backwards, usually you look for stuff that's going to qualify you, but what you want to look for is things that's going to disqualify you, because then you're going to know that you really fit the position. And before you go through all the trouble of filling out the application, sending in your photo and all this kind of stuff to try to get a speaking gig, okay, you want to make sure that you're qualified for the position or to speak, okay? That's the first and foremost. And I know that's obvious, but it's true. I get people who don't even qualify at all. They're just putting in an application just because, right? Number two, okay, complete the form. This is another obvious thing. What happens is I get people who sort of just put anything in the form, okay? If you're going to spend all this time trying to put stuff in the form, you might as well complete the entire form. If something is not applicable to you, just put NA or put another comment or why it's not applicable to you. I'd rather see something in the field than a blank field all the time. So it's just really important, because the whole purpose of having this form is because, as the organizer, I need to know what you're capable of. You know, when you're filling out the form, not only do I need to see that you're qualified, I need to see that you are capable of just following simple directions. Because what if I'm giving you further directions, you know, towards the, you know, not the close, but the beginning of the ceremony? I might say, hey, I need you to follow these specific instructions before we do the event. And if you can't follow the instructions, then, you know, because you're not filling out the form, then we're going to have a problem. Okay. And with that comes number 3, making sure that people actually answer the question. I've been in not just my events, but I've also been part of other events where we go through the application and the applicant just didn't even answer the question. So it makes it very hard for us to kind of determine whether or not this person is qualified to speak at this specific thing. Okay, a lot of times with these events, they want specific speakers that cater to a specific topic. And so that specific topic, they want that person to be knowledgeable, qualified, and also be able to answer the question so we can make an informed decision. And like I said, I know that those 3 are pretty obvious, but the whole point of why I'm putting it out here is because a lot of times we're rushing, we're busy, we get tired, and sometimes what we're trying to do is we're trying to satisfy the applicant or satisfy the form to the organizer. But we want to make the best impression possible, because here's the thing. You just never know what huge opportunity that you're going to get if you just take the time to just complete the application the way that it needs to be completed, right? And that includes answering the question. And if you don't have an answer, or if it's not applicable to you, then just put NA, right? So number 4 that I think is very important for best practices is making sure that you have a beautiful professional photo for your submission when you turn in an application for a speaking gig. Okay, this is, hey, hey, Nicole, this is just really critical, because here's the thing. They're going to take that photo and they're going to promote that photo. So if your photo is looking blurry, it's not clear, you don't have enough pixels in it, just take just 2 minutes, get someone with a really nice iPhone or a camera or something like that, and just go to a nice scenery and take a beautiful photo. It only takes a few minutes to do that, because here's the thing. I don't want to put anybody on my website that has a crappy photo. That's just the way I am. I'm sorry, guys. Anybody who knows me through the podcast, I'm always contacting you and say, hey, I need a professional, very clear, high-end photo. You know why? Because my reputation and your reputation all goes together. If I put you on my website for a speaking opportunity, I want to look good. I want you to look good. So I want to make sure, one, as I said, number 1, if you're just joining, make sure that you are, 1, qualified to apply to the speaking opportunity. That's number 1. You can't apply to something you're not qualified. Number 2, complete the entire form. Even if something is not applicable to you, just put NA or another comment or why that should be like that. But just don't fill out or leave it blank, because if you leave it blank, I'm going to have a question and I may or may not have the time to chase you down. And you know, and that actually should be part of that. No organizer has time to chase you down to get the information that you should be putting in the form. Okay, we're busy. We have like all these applications that we are reviewing, and we're trying to make a decision for you to stand in front of our audience, right? So whatever it is on the form, just answer the question, give us what we asked for, and you will be good, right? Okay, and then number 4, I think some people just joined in. Make sure you have a professional photo. If you don't have one, if you can't comb through Facebook and see if you have one, just go to a nice place, a nice scenery, a mall, somewhere, anywhere that has a nice scenery where we can really see you. Have your hair nice, your makeup nice. If you're a guy, make sure your clothes is neat. Make sure you have your, tailored face all manicured, and take a nice picture and send it to me. Please don't send me no picture of, you in the car or, you somewhere in this blurry, I'm just not going to use it. And quite frankly, it could get you eliminated from a speaking gig, believe it or not. Okay. Some people are very particular about that. It's no different when you go into a job interview. If you walk into a job interview and you look kind of, shoddy, I want to say the other word, right? It's going to make them think twice about hiring you. Okay. It's the same deal, right? Now, number 5, which I think is the biggest thing, the biggest thing. If you are applying for a speaking gig and the question asks you to provide a speaking reel, now you need to have it. Okay, it's just no ifs, ands, but there's no way in the world that I'm going to put somebody in front of my audience and I do not know how you speak. Now, with that said, I'm not talking about just any kind of speaking reel. I need to see you. This again goes back to reading the instructions. If you know that this is a wide audience, if it's a big conference, or even if it's just a workshop with less than 20 people, right? I need to see you standing up talking to a bunch of people. I don't want to see an interview on YouTube. I don't want to see you on Facebook doing something that has absolutely nothing to do with the event. If you're going to show me a speaking reel, show me something that is closely related to what you're doing. Now, if you don't have one, I get that some people don't have a speaking reel. If you don't have one, I think Chris gave me this great idea, and I'm going to throw it out there, and I'm going to give him credit for it because I think it's a brilliant idea. If you don't have a speaking reel, please just go someplace, nice scenery, have somebody have a cell phone, and just do an introduction of yourself. Just say, hi, my name is Ann Austin. I don't have a speaking reel, but I wanted to give the opportunity of me to be able to speak to you here in this application. Let me tell you a little bit about my background. Now, just doing that little bit for maybe 1 or 2 minutes lets me know that how comfortable you are in talking to somebody, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to stand up in front of those people, and as the organizer, we have to feel comfortable that you can do the job. Hey there, what's going on? What's going on, Kevin? E for real, Miss Goodwin, how you doing? Melvin, Charlene, Andrea, Nicole, all my friends, how you doing? So, getting back to my point, hey, Kiana, I'm just saying, this is so serious, guys. I can't tell you the speaker reels for the conference that I'm doing right now. And when I ask people for a speaker reel, you won't believe the submissions that I've gotten. And it is almost like it just really just a big turnoff, okay? Because there's no way in the world that I'm going to pay somebody and put them in front of my audience and they cannot speak to people. I don't care how much education you have. I don't care how long you've been doing this kind of work. If you are not able to connect with the audience and actually do some sort of speaking, or even just, like I said, a great tip that Chris Jordan put out there, just take a camera and just do an introduction of yourself and talk to the organizer and make me feel like, hey, I don't have a speaking reel, but this is what I'm going to be talking about in brief, and make me feel comfortable, right? Talk to me, right? I would appreciate that more than anything else that somebody can throw at me that has nothing to do with the activity, right? So if you are a speaker, please try to get people to videotape you when you are especially in front of an audience, because when people see that you're able to speak to a group of people, and you can have photograph and that's all cool, but it's nothing like video, right? It's nothing like video when they can actually see you walk and talk, and people are interacting with you, and you get to see their face expressions on how you say certain things. That is priceless. That's what's going to keep getting you booked all the time when people see that, because they're going to feel like they're connected to you. They're going to feel like that they're in the room with you when you're talking to them. So you have to have a speaker reel at all costs, guys, okay? That is so important. Number 6, and this is the last one, right? And this is so true. Now, some people may disagree with this and some people may not. Exposure versus payment, okay? Now, I'm not the richest person in the world, okay? I'm just going straight up. I'm not the richest person in the world. I'm not going to claim that I am. However, if I am paying a speaker to speak in front of my audience, because number one, we said earlier, you have to be qualified, Okay. Number 2, you have to complete the form. So the person completed everything. Number 3, they answered my question and then they elaborated on it to make me feel like they really are qualified. And then number 4, they uploaded this beautiful photo and they had a speaker reel, right? Now, if I am not paying whatever in their mind they think their honorarium is, that's a decision whether they want exposure, overpayment. And some people, they just want exposure. And I have a lot of people who do that. And I also pay people according to my marketing budget. Now, you have to make a decision on that. Okay, if you are a speaker, some people feel like they don't want to speak if they don't get paid, and some people don't mind not getting paid to speak. Me, I'm paying people. So I want to have all of the above, regardless of the amount, because if the person really believes in the cause, if they really want to share their knowledge, if they really want to get out there and that's what they want to do, then I'm expecting them to fill out 1 through 5, guys. Okay, so that's just how I'm sort of looking at it, because as an organizer, what people don't understand sometimes, as an organizer, it's costing us 3 times more money to throw an event than it is to pay for one person to speak. Okay, 3 times. We're talking about hotel, we're talking about food, we're talking about promotion, we're talking about getting people in the room where you will not necessarily have to do the work to do that, right? So all I'm saying as an organizer, please, if you are a speaker, make sure you get your professional photos. Make sure you get your media kit, your 1 sheet together. Make sure that you have your bio on point. Oh, and you know what? I should add a number 7 in here. And this is the last one, guys. This is the last one. Number 7, please don't put anything in your bio that's not related to the topic that you are applying for. So, for example, if someone is looking for an author, talk about how you are an author, like you're the best author, that how many books you sold, that how it applies to the event, okay? How it applies to the event so that the organizer, right, can visualize you on the stage, okay? I need to have this person on the stage because not only do they have the book that I'm interested in, but they're going to talk about it in a way that's going to get my audience excited, right? I get people to put stuff in there about their family life, about some stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with the activity at all. And that goes back to not reading the instructions of the event, okay? You have to understand what the organizer is looking for that event and see if you are applicable to that event. So I'm a bit coughing, I'm trying to hold it in, but those are really my tips, because Leroy really put it out there about branding and speaking. And if you haven't seen his if you haven't seen his video, please do, because he really dropped some nuggets on there about being a speaker. And because I do a lot of workshops and stuff like that, and I solicit a lot of speakers, I want you guys, when you guys apply, I want it to be the best that you can be, because here's the ultimate goal. You never know who is in the audience. Let me just say that again. And thank you for the loves and the likes. You never know who is in the audience for your next biggest gig. You just never know, guys. You might stand up there in the audience and you may have touched someone with your words so much that they have connection to someone who has your opportunity. You just never know. I would have never been able to do the things I'm doing if it hadn't been for having the right people say the right things at the right time at the event, right? So if you are looking for that kind of thing, you have to take 5-6 minutes to answer the question and submit what needs to be submitted, okay? So with that said, and I hope this was helpful to you guys, and like I said, if you know some people who are a little bit struggling on that end, please share with them. This is not to bash anybody. This is not to judge anyone, but it is an eye-opener for somebody who is like myself, who's an organizer. And so when I see the applications, I'm getting excited and I want to see what you got, but I need you to send me the best of the best, okay? It's not my job to chase after folks for information when the form is right there to give me what I need, right? So with that said, I do want to let everybody know that I am still reviewing applications for the Veterans Biz Up Conference, which is scheduled on July the 24th in 2020. So if you are an engaging speaker, if you are good at career transition, serving veterans, your health and wellness, you're a life coach, you're a business consultant or strategist, please go to Veterans Biz Up, and I will type it here so that everybody, and also in the message when the video is over, veteransbizup.com. Please go there. Check out the criteria of the speaking engagement. There is a stipend, payment stipend for workshops. The benefit is that you will be serving veterans, helping them understand how to transition to the civilian world, how to improve their health and wellness, and how to help themselves as a business, a small business, veteran-owned business. So if you are qualified and you love to talk to veterans, please do that. Also, there's going to be a couple of events coming out. There is a government contracting workshop that's coming out in December. If anyone is interested in learning more about how to make money with the federal government or work on a state, local level, would like to know how to do their RFP responses, I have what's her name? Jennifer Hanks. Jennifer Hanks is going to be working with me. She's with MMC Consulting, and she's an acquisition and federal contracting specialist. And she is going to be talking about how do you answer RFPs. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to be posting that on my profile page, and please make sure you register. We're going to have 2 workshops. They're going to be held on 2 different days, December 5th and December 12th. So if you're interested in anything like that, and also I am now scheduling speakers for the 2020 Small Business Roundtable here in Maryland. So if you are interested in just scheduling with me, January, February, March are the first 3 months I'm scheduling for. They're going to be held about the 3rd week of the month. Just let me know directly, and I will let you know. You can tell me what you want to talk about, and this could be anything from business to leadership, health and wellness, anything business related, marketing, branding, sales, anything that will help a small business. And it could be, you don't even have to be here in Maryland. You could do this remotely, guys. I had people speak remotely. I know some of you guys have some tremendous skills out there, and I worked with a couple of people in my circle before. But if you would like to do a webinar, or if you would like to do small business check-in, if you're here in Maryland for 2020, I'm scheduling those now. And I think the last thing I'm doing is if anyone is interested in starting a business, and they've been kind of following me for a while, and you're interested in starting a business, it is now half off until November 30th, and those who give a referral will get a kickback referral. So you can always go to my website, or you can contact me directly and sign up for the 10-week Small Business Strategy course. It's the last one of 2020. So you got to get ready. You got to get ready, right? So again, those are my notes. I don't know if you guys can see it. So running down last time, 6 or 7 tips. 6 or 7 tips on making sure that you apply for a speaking gig and that you are locking in your opportunities. Number 1, make sure you read the instructions. Make sure you look for anything that's going to disqualify you, to make sure that you are first qualified to apply for a speaking opportunity. Number 2, make sure you complete the form in its entirety, and if something doesn't apply to you, just put NA or put a comment. Number 3, answer the question first and then elaborate and give your skills. Number 4, upload a beautiful professional photo of yourself so that we can see your beautiful face and that we can feel proud to put you on our website as soon as possible. Number 5, make sure that you have a speaking reel. Have somebody record you speaking, or you do an introduction video that could be helpful if you do not have a speaking reel. And if you don't have a YouTube channel, you need to start having a YouTube channel just to host your speaking reels or your speaking opportunities, so that you can always send someone a link to your speaking opportunities. Okay. And then the last thing is don't snuff on the payment and exposure. You never know who's going to be in the audience, guys. I would just say, if the opportunity is worth it, apply, okay, regardless of how much it is, but at least you're getting some money. I'm not rich, but I am paying my speakers, and I had 9 or 10 last year for my veterans conference, and I have paid some speakers recently for coming out here. So I'm telling you, that's it. That's all organizers want, guys. So I'm going to get off of here because I have my students coming here tonight to do their training. They're on week 8. And I'm just so proud of all the people who I've trained over the last year. 34 businesses. I can't shake a stick at that. 1 year here in the office and still going strong. So I hope everybody have a wonderful night and hope that some of these tips were helpful for you if you do events and as an organizer for events. But other than that, guys, I'm out. I will talk to you later.